Hello, sixth graders. Today we're going to be working a little bit more with algebra and solving equations. So watch closely. I'm going to kind of break this down so it's a little easier for you, and then kind of observe, and I'll take it step by step and watch how I do it with your notes. So we have an equation right here, which is 9 plus 5k equals 45 plus 2k. Eventually, I'm going to be working with some operations going all the way down this system just so I have k equaling 12 left over. So right away with 9 plus 5k equals 45 plus 2k, I want to try and get all the k's on one side and all of my numbers without algebra on the other side of the equal sign. So it's kind of like a pan balance problem. So the first thing they want us to do is subtract 9. So we're going to take this 9 and we're going to subtract it from this 45. That's what S9 equals. So we're left with 36. So this is what the equation looks like now. We have 5k equals 36 plus 2k. Now the next thing we have to do is we have to get rid of this 2k and put it over on this side. So what we're going to do is we're going to subtract 2k. If we subtract 2k, we're left with 3k equals 36. Because think about this is going to come to this side of the pan balance and take away 2 from that side. So now we're left with 3k equaling 36. Now how do we solve the next part? We're going to have to divide by 3. If we do 36 divided by 3, we'll get k, which equals 12. So if we check this to see if it works, watch closely here. If k equals 12, I go 9 plus 12 times 5 is 60 equals 45 plus 12 times 2, which is 24. Well, 9 plus 6 is 69, and 45 plus 24 is 69, so yes, it works perfect. That's what's really nice about this algebra is you can go back and check. Once you find out what that k equals, go back and plug it into this equation. Remember, a letter right next to a number means to multiply, and then you can solve it. Let's try another one of these. So we're starting off with 9m minus 8 equals negative 5.5 plus 4m. Now they want you to write out the original equation. 9 over 2m minus 8 equals negative 5.5 plus 4m. Well, what I would do right here is I'm going to subtract 4m because 9 over 2 is 4.5m. So I'm going to be bringing this over here. So I'm going to subtract 4, that's an S, not a 5, subtract 4m. So if I do that, I'm left with half an m, because 4m away from here would be half an m left over, minus 8 equals negative 5.5. Now I got to try and get positive numbers on each side. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 8 to the equation. Watch closely what I mean by that. I'm going to bring this over to this side. So I have half m equals, well, if I add an 8 over to that side, that means on that side I'm going to have 2.5 on that side. Because a positive 8, I'll write it out because I shouldn't assume that you kind of can follow, minus a 5.5 equals 2.5. Okay, so that's where I'm at right now. So right now I'm at half an m equals 2.5. Well, if I have to get this side to here, I'm going to multiply that by 2, which would give me m equaling 5. Because if I go 2 times this, I'd get 2.5. Half times 2 is 2.5. So let's solve here. Does this make sense? If m is 5, so 9.2, 9 over 2 times 5 over 1 equals 45 over 2, okay, which would be 22.5. How many 2's go in there? 22 and a half, 22.5 minus 8 equals negative 5.5 plus 20. Well, 22.5 minus 8.0, sorry kids, it's getting a little long, but it's important to check your work, is 24.5. 24.5, okay, that's not right. 22.5 minus 8. Okay, got a 5, got a 4, 2. How am I getting a bigger number? I'll have to borrow this. Oops. So this is supposed to be a 14 down here. I apologize. You can follow. That would be a 22. Sorry, kids. 12. See, Mr. Green makes mistakes too. This is a 14. There's no way on earth that could possibly be. The struggle's real today. Struggle that off. Perfect. We got a 14. Sorry about that. 14.5. So if I subtract this, I get 14.5 as well. Yes, they equal to each other. Moving on. Wow, I got to cruise up a little bit here. Sorry about that. So I have 24x minus 10 equals 18x minus 4. Well, first thing I need to do is I need to get all my x's on one side. So I'm going to subtract an 18x. So that means I'm going to put this over here. So that means I'm left with 6x minus 10 equals negative 4. Now I have to try and get that 10 over to the other side. Apologize. That 10 over to the other side to make it positive. I'm going to add a 10. So I'm at 6x equals, if I put a 10 over to this side, that means I'm with a positive 6 on that side. The next thing I have to do is I have to divide by 6. If I divide by 6, I'm left with x equaling 1. If I try to solve this out, if it makes sense here, 24 times 1 is 24 minus 10 equals 18 minus 4. Let's see if I actually can subtract correctly. I got 14 equals a 14. Next problem. That was a lot easier. Whoa, that was confusing before. Okay, writing out this equation over again. I have 12d minus 9 equals 15d plus 9. Well, the first thing I need to do here is I need to subtract I'm going to subtract the 12d. So that means I'm over here with a negative 9 equaling 3d plus 9. Now I'm going to make sure I add. I'm going to add a 9 over to this side. So that means I'm with a negative 18 equals 3d. If I divide by 3, I'm left with d equaling a negative 6. The book wanted me to solve that a different way, but I feel like this makes more sense to work it out, okay? If you disagree with me, we can kind of talk later, but the book wanted me to go, originally they wanted me to put this negative 15, or this 15 over here to be at a negative d, negative 3d, but I thought this would be a little easier for us to solve, okay? So if d is a negative 6 here, and I'm trying to solve this, 6 times 12 would be a negative 72 minus a 9 equals a negative 90 plus 9. Okay, if I'm solving this, I have a negative 81 equals a negative 81. Okay, next one here. Solving this one, we have a negative 6r minus 5 equals 7 minus 12r. Get a little slop here. I got to make this a little neater. I apologize, okay? The first thing I want to do is I want to add, let's add the 12r over to this side. Add 12r, okay? For adding 12r over to this side, I'm going to have 6r minus 5 equals 7. The next thing I want to do is I want to add 5 to that side. So I'm with 6r equals 12. And then I want to divide by 6. If I divide by 6, I'm going to end up with r equaling 2. Well, if r equals 2, solving this, I'm going to have a negative 12 minus a 5 equals 7 minus a 24. If I'm solving this, I'd have a negative 17 equals a negative 17. Last problem of the day here. Let's see how we can do this. Let's see if we can work it out nice and neat here. We have 1/3 p plus 7 equals 12 minus 2/3 p. Well, the first thing we want to do is we want to add 2/3. Okay? If we add 2/3 to this side, we will have a positive p. So I'm going to add a 2/3. So on this side, I'm going to have d, because 2/3 plus 1/3 is 1 whole, so we have a positive p, plus 7 equals 12. Now I'm going to subtract this 7 and put it on this side, so I have a p that equals 5. I don't have to divide anything because I already know p equals 5. If I solve this out, 1/3 times p is 1 2/3. If you don't believe me, it's 5/3. How many 3's going to 5? 1 2/3. Okay. Plus 7 equals 12 minus, well, what's 2/3 times 5 over 1? 10/3. How many 3's going to 10? 3 1/3. So I have a negative 3 1/3. If I work these out, I will get 8 2/3 here, and I'll have 8 2/3 there. Boom. Now I'm going to be spending some more time with you in class for this today, but the biggest thing is we're trying to balance off both sides of that equal sign. Treat it kind of like the pan balance problems that we were working on before. Hopefully this helps. I look forward to working with you in math today. Algebra is a lot of fun, and it's really nice to be able to have this check method. I apologize with my subtracting earlier, but that's why it's important to check, because when you're looking at that and if it doesn't make sense, you're like, okay, obviously I did something wrong, so then you can go back through and fix it. Hopefully this helps. I look forward to working with you in math tomorrow or this afternoon.